Hey, folks, welcome to the Generational Gap. I am Robert, your resident Gen Xer, and right over there is John, your resident Millennial. Hey, look, I did show up. It's nice.
Hey,
John,
look at you.
how are you doing this evening?
Doing all right. How about yourself, Robert? How are you doing?
Well, I'm here, John. I think that says a lot about me as a person.
Ah,
Um,
shit, dude. Boulder Vaughn is here.
Bouldervon. We're interrupting Jake's Wheel of Fortune.
We are the
Uh,
only Wheel of Fortune you need, sir. Right.
hey, if it can't be solved with RSTLNE, it's not worth watching anyway.
Okay.
No, that's probably boomer level joke. Jake will,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, yeah, he'll probably get it.
Wheel of Fortune when you were a kid. No, nothing. No, even with your older parents.
Um, I, I mean, I've seen it. I don't think I really paid attention to it or cared.
Pat Sajak, Vanna White. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, yeah, no, I know Vanna White and Pat Sajak.
No, it was. I used to love the way they had it in the early days because they did it like a shopping trip. So like when you won money, on certain rounds, you could pick where you wanted to buy stuff from. Everything had a price tag,
Yeah.
and you could buy. Okay, I want to get that piece of kitchen stuff, and I want to get that. Oh, there's that snowmobile, and just different shit like this, right? I was
That
like, that
Kichi
was
shit,
awesome,
yeah.
but man, it would take up time. It would just be like, oh, the shopping, oh, the shopping. They did away with that later on to where they've changed up the whole price structure now. But
Yeah.
all those games are rigged anyway.
Oh yeah, for sure. And hey, Boulder Von says, "Yo, y'all have been here before. Dig the stream." Well, thank you very much. And Wyatt is also here from Roundtable Decision.
I see Wyatt popping
Welcome.
in. Wyatt,
And we didn't say anything to
Wyatt.
Chicken Nugs, who is now Chicken Dogs over on D Live. So what's
Or,
up, man?
I love me my chicken
Some,
nugs.
that's right.
It's better than eggnogs. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of eggnog. I don't like it.
You don't have to be a big fan of it, John. That
I don't
means
like it at
that
all.
means
I
more
can't
for
even drink
those
it.
of us who enjoy it. You know
Yeah,
what?
you can have it.
You know what the best thing about eggnog is that
When it's gone, I don't know.
you can hide alcohol in it because of that dense, thick flavor.
I
But
thought that was the point.
but you add in enough alcohol and you can impact the flavor of the eggnog, thus making it more palatable. I would guess, for some people,
Yeah.
depending on what you're putting in it. But otherwise, for those of us who enjoy it, man, you can just sneak stuff in there. Nobody ever knows.
Hey, Midget P's in here. He says, "Sup, you wanking cunts." Speaking of, or we're gonna be speaking of wanking cunts here in a minute. So
I'm not
get
winking
ready for that.
anything.
That's gonna be awesome.
I'm not winking anything. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, you,
But before we do that, guys, make sure you hit that like button. Don't be assholes. All right. Listen,
John,
if you
John, they're shy.
what?
They're shy. You, they.
All right. Let me
We need
speak.
to make them feel more comfortable.
Hey guys, I think it'd be a really good idea if you guys would just like hit the like button. Perhaps you should subscribe as well if you haven't already. You can also, all of our links and stuff are down in the description. So go and check those out, including our Discord server and whatnot. So yeah, go check that stuff out. It'll be a lot of fun for all of us. Yeah, stop being shy. All right. See you guys later.
Just as a disclaimer, in case John didn't mention it in that, it's only going to hurt the first time. I can promise you.
We're usually pretty gentle.
It only hurts the first time. This is
Yeah,
NPR. See, yes, he does a great NPR
that's my
voice.
NPR voice. Yeah. I'll
I,
just give you a thumbs up, says chicken dogs.
he
Yeah,
said he
thank you.
can't find a like button on there, so I don't know.
Yeah, there's no like button on
I
D
think you
Live,
like
unfortunately.
you have to like with Lino with lemons that kind of thing.
Yeah, you got to use those lemon things. And the more likes that you give us, the happier we'll be. So, yeah,
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. All about them likes, John. It's all about them likes.
No dislikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, dude, we can do what the fuck we want. It's over. It's done. I mean, we are. It's all fair game now. It's just fucking crazy. We've got, you know, he got through the impeachment. We've got senators openly, as it's reported, openly threatening or putting other senators in jeopardy. I don't feel like Romney. I don't know that Romney should feel safe coming to the CPAC. People are really mad at him. Okay, that's not going to suggest anything to anybody. Everybody's getting their heads cut off. It's like the dawning of the Red Queen. Off with their heads.
Oh my god.
Right. It's just funny. I love it. And I don't know, man. He's gonna win, and
Yeah.
The world is next. The world is next.
That's right. The world is our oyster, and we're gonna crack that bitch
The
open.
world is just, yeah. I mean, he surgically implanted a virus that's wiping out, our main competition for trade and economy. I mean, what more do you want? I've come to the conclusion, John, that is all of it's been 4D chess put out there by the Republicans. Everything, like they laid out the Ukraine thing as just bait, hoping it would be the hook that the Democrats would run with for impeachment, knowing that they would stop everything, that they had the whole game planned out, they had it all set, and make the Democrats look horrible. They let them do it. They gave him the rope, and now they're like, "We've got this shit locked up." Now he's going to going to clean house, and he's going to put the people in the position that he wants. It's all bets are off, brother. All bets. I
can give that a little bit of credence, I suppose, that they put it out there as bait, but I don't think they had it planned from the start. I think they probably put out several things as bait and just said, "Go on and take it."
I'm willing.
And then the Democrats took that one and ran with it.
I'm willing to bet that he handed Pelosi a pre-torn speech. He already had the tear started for her.
No, she did that herself.
They say that she did. But I think he may have handed it to her that way.
No.
Assuming she's weak enough and couldn't rip the thing herself. Plant the
I
seed.
don't think that's what was happening.
I don't know, brother. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just all fucking crazy. It's just all crazy. They have the run of the fucking game now. They can do whatever they want. Now they're like everybody, all these people with the Russian, they're talking about the Russian investigation are going to start going to jail. Oh, are they? But how did the Republicans get the Democrats to Epstein their Iowa caucus? Easily. I mean, who's not in the race? Who can be bought off?
See, all they have to do, that's the thing. The Republicans don't have to do anything. The Democrats just do it themselves. They just sit back, let the Democrats do what Democrats do, and then it all just kind of works out.
I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. They know the right things to lay out there. I mean, and they had the timing perfectly. They prodded and poked and got everything set up just right. The timing is perfect for his candidacy, for his campaign. It's all been. I mean, oh my God, I can almost see Trump with the fucking orchestra baton in hand, watching these puppets dance. I can almost see it. Not that it's a bad thing. Necessarily, as long as he keeps doing the right shit.
Yeah.
Not doing stupid shit. Cut the stupid.
That's when
shit
things
out.
get dangerous, though. Yeah.
But I don't know. Now he's going to have another 4 years to figure out how to set himself up with another term in office.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
He'll figure it out. And I promise you that, mark my words, I'm going to Nostradamus your ass right now.
Okay.
The Democrats are going to fuck this election up so bad with all shit like Iowa. and Trump's going to be right on top of it the entire time, showing how it's fucked up, how the Democrats have completely fucked up the electoral college, the system, the whole vote. And then he's going to say we have to put a moratorium on and find a new way to do this. And in that interim, just so you'll know, he can remain in the fucking presidency until it's sorted out.
No, that's not
Yes,
going to happen.
no, and he watch it. Watch. He
We will.
call
We're gonna
foul
watch.
on he can win the election, but he will show how it is so fucked for the American people, and he will say we have to revamp this over the
All
next
right.
4 years.
Everyone in the chat right now, remember that Robert said this. Remember this.
I've already, and I looked at this a while back, and there is stipulations that there would not be another election until the election system had been put in place. I'll have to find this. God, it's been over a year or more since I read this. But
Or perhaps
yeah,
just the
he
DNC can't take part in the elections since they can't do it right.
He could.
Wouldn't that be something?
He could basically put a pause on elections by the time we get to the 2024, thus securing himself an extended term in office.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that at all. I don't think a lot of people wouldn't like that either. Even people that are on his side.
It's
wouldn't
all
like
about
that.
how he sells it to you.
I don't see a way he could sell it to me.
The same way he sold shit beef with the name Trump on it. The same way he sold fucking tap water with the name Trump on it. The same way he sells his name to put on a building and doesn't put anything else into it and gets paid much money for that. The same way he does that, he will sell the American public on a fucked up election system that needs to be fixed, and he's the guy to do it, and he will put the right people in place to fix this so that we don't have this kind of shoddy thing going on like the Democrats are just put us through, and he will show it. Watch. He called foul on the first election after he won.
Yeah,
after he
which is
won,
good. That's a good move.
He set the precedence. He set the premise. He will call foul to the election even if it's in his favor. Watch him. Watch, John.
We'll see.
Watch it happen.
We'll see. We'll see. But besides our own very Americentric news, there's some other really good news for those out there who may or may not care. On Saturday, Ireland had their snap election. Their general election just happened. And whoo boy. First of all, the memes. Spot on. Fantastic. Grade A memes. They were awesome. I unfortunately don't have any here to share. And I don't think that Robert would, be willing to put them up on the screen.
If you had come to me with something,
Yeah, I know. I just thought about it. As I was saying it,
folks,
I thought
you
of
to
it.
be Captain Prepared.
Yeah, I do. I am actually prepared though, because I have two things pulled up. One are the results of the election, and secondly is the Wikipedia page of somebody I wanted to talk about.
Well, you should throw those in the YT chat. Will it allow that? It still has links, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can put links in there.
Too, since I don't know if you've got them both up, but
I do, but it'll go to both. So there's the election there. And then this is the person I was talking about. Let me put that in here. Alright. So we've got the 2020 Irish general election. Now, the reason I was excited about this one is because Sinn Féin won. They got so basically they have ranked choice voting. So you put your number one choice, number two choice, whatever. And Sinn Féin got more number one choices than any other party. And Sinn Féin is the nationalist party. They basically want to have a united Ireland, and I mean, just like the rest of them, they're pretty socialist, but they're also nationalist. Almost like national socialist. No, not in that way though. But it's very much like they want to leave the EU and have a united Ireland, so there'll be a sovereign nation, one full, Ireland, and then so but they also have like tons of basically welfare, but not as much as they have now. Like they want that to be there, but not as much as they have now, and especially they want to close the borders, which is phenomenal because the EU has really fucked them up over there. Um, so of course, they get all the whole, they're racist and they're xenophobic and bigoted and all this other kind of nonsense. Just because they don't want to take, hundreds of thousands of migrants every year. Uh, and then, so not only that, but let me see if I can find what I was looking for. Fuck. Where was it? Where was it? Oh yeah, they gained 13 seats in Dalna Aaron is what it's called. Their Congress basically, which is more they gained more than anybody else, which is sweet. And then even better is Fine Gael, the current president's party, lost 15 seats, which is fantastic. Which means that they can actually legislate from that position. Sinn Féin can. So it's looking pretty good for them over there. And yeah, Boulder Fun because they want English off their island, exactly. And I'm about to get into that in a moment. Because the leader of Sinn Féin is Mary Lou McDonald, and I've got the list of her controversies pulled up here. Let's see, and these are controversies as per Wikipedia. In September 2003, McDonald attracted criticism when she spoke at a rally in Dublin to commemorate Sean Russell, an IRA leader with links to Nazi Germany. Now, while that's technically true, what really happened was Sean Russell was a leader of the IRA, that's the true part. Now, with the links to Nazi Germany, what it was basically it was just after the Irish Civil War, so it was kind of really spotty as to which government was actually in charge. And he declared war on England with an alliance with Nazi Germany. And basically what they did was people who were part of the IRA that were living in England would do things like when the air raid sirens went off and everyone's supposed to shut their power off so that the bombers couldn't see where things were, they would go around and turn lights on and things like that. So they did try and like undermine like England's war effort, but they didn't do anything that was like pro-Nazi. They didn't do like Nazi things. They didn't hate Jews. They didn't kill anyone that wasn't an English soldier. They weren't espousing Nazi beliefs basically. So I don't think that's a fair criticism to be made. Then we have in June 2009, McDonald faced criticism after it merged her campaign office with selling IRA souvenirs and memorabilia, which I thought was pretty hilarious. Because Sinn Féin came out of the IRA. The IRA became Sinn Féin after the Civil War. In December of 2015, McDonald initially backed Thomas Murphy, who she described as a good Republican, despite him having been convicted on 9 charges of tax evasion, and following a trial held in the special criminal court after the last person to testify against Murphy in a court was bludgeoned to death after a 1999 court case in Dublin. So that's kind of interesting. I'm not really sure what the details on that are. But she was criticized in January 2019. She was criticized for her party sending 2 delegates to the inauguration of Nicolas Maduro, despite his election being denounced as fraudulent by Argentina, Chile, Colombia, Brazil, Canada, and the United States. And the European Union didn't recognize it either. So there's a little bit of actual criticism there, I think. But generally, she's been awesome, because here's another one. In March 2019, McDonald was criticized by some, including Fine Gael politician and incumbent Simon Coveney, for walking behind a banner in the New York City St. Patrick's Day parade, which read, "England, get out of Ireland." So I thought that was kind of cool. She's based as fuck. I would look up some of her... yeah, I know, right, Midget? Imagine Wikipedia mischaracterizing historical facts. Yeah, exactly. Um, and yeah, Bouldervon, the Troubles gave them a bad name, but they were not wrong. Yeah, and I've said that about the IRA before, where don't always approve of their methods, but their message is on point. Um, but yeah, it's probably going to be good couple of years for them. Hopefully, they're going to be able to manage to go the way of England or the UK and get out of the EU. I doubt it, but maybe they'll start making steps towards it.
Well, do they have the sustainability for that?
If
To,
they have a united Ireland, yeah,
I mean, they can handle themselves in the present day and age of trade and economy. They have enough exports.
yeah. They actually have a lot of precious metals, and so like they have a lot of gem mining and a lot of like iron ore and those sorts of things that will can be used in manufacturing. Not to mention their agriculture, which before the famine, they were able to feed 10 times their population. That was before the potato blight and the famine. That's a whole different thing to get into, but yeah, I mean they can absolutely provide enough food for them.
Gotcha. As long as you like potatoes. One doesn't simply.
International actualization. Holy shit. Yes, Bouldervan says 6 million people on an island smaller than. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I mean, it sounds like a lot of people and it sounds like a small amount of space, but it's really not.
well till you look at Long Island in New York. I mean,
Yeah,
think about how many people are on Long Island. I want to say it's not far off from that number, if not you know.
I mean, maybe. But Long Island is smaller,
Well,
for
that's what I'm
sure.
saying. Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. It's a much smaller space that does hold a lot of fucking people.
yeah.
I've only walked through down through there, one time in my life, but I was like, yeah, damn, there's a lot of people here. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of
Yeah,
folks. I don't like. I'm not down for that anymore. I need a lot less folks
yeah.
in my life. That's what I need. It's a lot less around me.
Yeah, true. But yeah, no, I mean, this actually bodes because I mean, I think Europe itself is kind of waking up to this like intersectional, like open borders nonsense, and that's really good for them because I don't think it's too late for them to you know turn back and kind of right the ship before it sinks completely. So I mean, and that's the thing is even despite like the state controlled media that they have, over there and the UK, just constantly spouting propaganda, people are fed up. And even though they can't say it in public, they're obviously voting the way that they feel. So hope there's some hope there. There's at least a little bit of hope.
Yeah, um, it's listen to things like that. I know that you follow that. I've mentioned before how Midget follows what's going on with the UK a lot, and
Hmm.
it's these. I don't know. This is the problem I see with eventually trying to reach a point of being more nationalist, more isolationist, which I think would be very beneficial to us. Is that we have these large sectors of immigrants. So I mean, we have a large Irish community here in America. Yes,
Massive, yeah.
it's localized in certain places. I get that, but it's a very large community. So it's like, okay, so when you think about shutting yourself off from the rest of the world or drawing back from them and just dealing with them from an economic standpoint and you know tying off these immigration split ends and everything for a while till we like I said, close the fucking borders, let's get things sorted out here. um, that those kind of relationships create a real problem in achieving that. It's
Yeah.
because so many people have family there, have family here, back and forth. Wanting to bring new family over. It's just a whole thing. It's like
Sorry, midget. Jeez.
pretend it's your ear, midget.
Yeah.
I know how you like that. But anyway, no, I'm not saying, I'm not trying to point out a negative. It's just, it's one of the, that's, that it's that previous immigration
Yeah.
stance that we've had that has created like the nightmare that it would be to really stop immigration. Like to really stop immigration the right way. you that doesn't get
Yeah.
everybody butthurt. Look, if we just stop immigration for everybody, nobody can say we're picking on them. I'm good that right.
Well, one thing that one of the immigration that Ireland has, which I think is really cool, is if you can prove that you have direct lineage to Ireland for like through your family members, obviously, um, you can actually get citizenship extremely easily. Like they'll just give it to you, which is really cool because they're trying to boost their population back to pre-famine times because it still hasn't recovered. They're about 2 million off from where they were. So
Uh,
they're trying to. So I mean, as long as you can prove, that your family came from there, you can just get citizenship. That's something that I hope they keep, even if they do end up leaving the EU and stopping or curtailing immigration.
I question the loyalty of people with dual citizenship. Sorry, but I do.
I wasn't saying dual citizenship.
Well, if you're here and you go over there because you've got family history and lineage, you can get. I mean, you're going to be a citizen in some country.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you get citizenship over there,
Before,
you can renounce the
well,
other citizenship, whatever it
well,
is.
I mean, you're going to have citizenship if you're born over there. What I'm saying is, if you're going to get citizenship in Ireland, it's kind of a given that you're already a citizen in some other country. Unless
Yeah,
you're born in Ireland. So, of course, that's a
right. But I
citizen.
mean, usually you have to renounce your previous citizenship in order to get citizenship into another country.
Well, I thought that was the whole point to dual citizenship now.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can get dual citizenship, but like not always. I think it depends. There's a lot of like stipulations with it. I
Well,
think.
that's what I'm trying to. Do people still have those rules in place? If you're
I
trying to,
don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if any countries still have those kind of rules in place as far as renouncing previous citizenship. I would assume there are countries you could not have dual citizenship to. Hell, there's
I'm
probably
sure there
a
are.
lot of countries you just can't get citizenship to.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, no, no, there's no reason for you to be a citizen of Kenya, sir. Step away.
Step away. Oh man. But yeah, no, I thought that was exciting. I wanted to share that with everyone. I think that's pretty cool
What?
that they're actually getting their shit together and turning it around.
Now,
And
sometimes you seem to have more love for the Irish than you do the Scottish.
the Scottish, yeah, because I have Irish ancestry, so
So you have Irish ancestry.
yeah.
Is it just because your last name is Irish, or do you have lineage? Like you could go to
No,
Ireland and
I
get
actually,
citizenship.
yeah, I could get citizenship if I wanted to, because I
Shut
can
up.
prove that I have direct lineage. I've got Ellis Island papers from my great grandparents.
So are you going to make that? Are you going to make the point to do that while you're over there, or are you commie,
No,
or
probably not. Probably not.
yeah?
Not until they unfuck themselves. Then I'll think about it. But
What do I have against
not
dual
until then.
citizenship? I think I made it very clear. I question the loyalty of
Okay.
anybody that has dual citizenship.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I do. It's America
I mean,
first.
a lot of the times it's because like they work in a different country or they work here and they're originally from another country, so they're getting
Is
I
that
don't know.
is that the excuse they like to use? Sure, I
I
get it.
guess so.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess
You
so.
know, I've I was around for the Spy Days in the '80s. I understand a good cover story. I get it. You know, and I'm sure they've only gotten better.
Well, a good spy would just fake like a citizenship. Just fake that they have full citizenship.
No, actually, you don't. Not no, because you'll doctor dual citizenship that way. It's just everything can be legitimate now. Like everything can be made to look so legitimate, and even get the stuff into the computers at those specific places. So it's like you've always been there.
Ooh,
It's like you
spooky.
existed before you were ever there. It's like you were
Yeah.
a ghost, but you were alive. I want to be a ghost
You.
when I grow up, John. All
I
right.
think we all will.
All right. So, what the hell time is it? It's about that halfway time. Wow.
It is about that
Good
halfway time. What else?
lord. Well, I wanted to. I was just going to give some information because Boulder Vaughn said something earlier about Trump. He said that he heard because he was impeached in the House, but not removed by the Senate, then his first term is nullified and he is eligible to run for two more terms. I
Is
looked.
that the case?
No, I looked into that, and ultimately, it was something that was miscontextualized, in my opinion, from the way Trump tweeted a couple of things talking about how they, basically have done all this stuff trying to nullify his presidency. But
Oh, okay.
and so the spin was that his administration was floating the idea out there, but it's not in the Constitution. The impeachment happens within its own vacuum, its own bubble. It's not like it goes back and says, no, you weren't president. What it says is you did something wrong while you were president, and that's that. Then, of course, if removed from office is attached to it, whatever. But there is no provision in the Constitution for nullifying the presidency and no term running an
I
additional
didn't think so.
term.
That doesn't. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. That would be the
And
case.
this references back to even looking at Clinton, who was impeached in his second term, and no arguments were made, or was it ever brought up that it nullified his second term, thus allowing him to run for a third after he was acquitted. So,
Hmm.
you would think if that was a possibility, they would have jumped on that. Anybody would jump on that
Oh
ship.
yeah.
You'd almost want to get impeached. Now,
Right.
I very specifically looked at it for that reason because that would have definitely fueled the 4D chess idea. Um, you know, what's better than getting yourself impeached and nullifying your presidency for your first term so you could run two more terms? How's that for some crazy thinking? But since he can't do that, he'll go with my
Yeah.
plan. He'll go with my plan.
Well, he will now that you said it. Because he watches the show, so
Um,
he's like, "Oh,
yeah,
Robert, that's a good idea."
my ideas get out there, John. They do. They have a way of floating on out there in the wind like a dandelion fluff. And you never know where they're going to land, but they do take root. Um, Coronavirus. This is another shit show right now. Still, no conclusive anything. All I know is
Yeah.
people who are trying to report on it out of China are either going into house arrest or getting whacked, or, you know, I mean, they're still trying to keep a lid on this thing to where, I mean, and now I'm hearing astronomical numbers, of people infected because they're lying to us, and I'm like, okay, all right, but if there were that many people infected, I think it would have gotten further out into the world very quickly. Um, but they're keeping these folks on the fucking cruise ship that are been on that, and
Yeah.
and the outbreak is spreading on that boat. Uh, they float around that like nice.
Like a
Um,
smelly fart. That's
Whatever,
right.
whatever gets it gets your nose wrinkled up.
Right. As long
Wrinkling
as they
your
get out
nose,
there, right?
wrinkling your nose gets the thought process started. What the fuck? Speaking of what the fuck, but yeah, no, it's crazy. And now, I think it was Midget that supplied it, and I got to give him props for this because I read this, and it was an expose on, this female doctor that is like the head of virology for the most part for like China, for like who has been like following this whole thing, like the whole bat possibility for over a decade, who came out early on in this saying, well, we're not really sure this, that, and the other. It's a possibility. Bitch, because you've been studying it for so long, but this piece laid out all this information, all this data, all these references, um, and showed 3 or 4 different government agencies, primarily in the military sector, um, funneling money into the same laboratory in Wuhan, into her research, into her work for some reason. Um, she put out 140 different research papers over the last decade plus, 5 of which are not accessible because of whatever probably classified information keeping them on the DL. And it's like, what the fuck is going on with this thing? What's the real answer? Was this just, or was that just another like extensive, I mean, exclusive, extremely extensive piece, John? It's a lot of fucking reading material. If it was a hoax, it's like, God damn, you put a lot of effort into that. That's like somebody just really working hard to make something
It
real.
was the Chinese, you know. They're known for going all out. Everything has to be done with perfection.
But
So there you go.
a lot of what this points out is that on a very base level, this appears to be a bioengineered piece of work, and obviously she had papers that had come out not long before it where they had successfully tested and produced transmission from bats to humans, like to see that this theory was correct, that it could happen. So it's like, so you're going to fucking create it in your lab before it's happened out in the wild just to know if it can happen naturally?
Yeah.
You're not risking anybody at that point, are you, you fuckers?
Yeah.
you know. But again, it could all just be smoke and mirrors. I don't know, man. It's crazy stuff. Now, and of course, we have on our side everyone saying the CDC and everything. Just relax. Don't worry about it. It shouldn't be a big deal here. But man, I swear to God, I can't stop thinking about Raccoon City. Raccoon City, Raccoon City. I mean, I know there's no zombie aspect to this, but just,
Not yet.
or Plague Inc., man. I keep thinking about every game of Plague Inc. I
Oh
play.
yeah.
Started in China, man. Almost 1.5 billion people there. You're bound to get a virus going in that country.
Oh yeah.
And it's typically successful. I don't know. Have you? I mean, is it just kind of something that's just happened on the peripheral for you? Like,
Yeah,
not.
it's something that haven't like I haven't looked deeply into just because one, I don't find it I don't find it all that interesting to learn about, even though I realize its potential, importance, obviously. But I don't understand half the shit they're talking about. So I don't know. I just kind of get updates once in a while, and that's about it.
For me, it really comes down to, like, I'm not worried about it, unless something happened, as far as the mutation of the virus, because that was the only real concern I've had in the whole thing, is that they said early on that it was a rapidly mutating thing. That
Yeah.
makes a person nervous when you're trying to come up with vaccines or stoppers, whatever. But is finding out the truth behind it. Like, this one
Yeah.
is one of those it's a breeding ground for lots of conspiracies, and it's trying to figure out which one's right. Because it's like, one of these might actually be the real thing. This might be the real information. This might be the truth behind it. But you can't be sure which one it is, right? It's like a mystery. I feel like the Hardy Boys just Solo.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, Encyclopedia Brown. That's who I am. That's who I am. I don't know if
Oh
anybody.
God.
I don't know if anybody would
Yeah,
remember Encyclopedia Brown, but
I do. And who was the chick one?
Nancy Drew. No.
Nancy Drew, that was the one, yeah. Wasn't
Well,
it?
see, she
Yeah.
was. There was Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys were at the same time. I don't know if there was anybody with Encyclopedia at the same time with it. I know. See, the only other books that I really stand out for me during the Encyclopedia Brown period was the Choose Your Own Adventure books.
Oh, I used to love those, the Goosebump ones.
Yeah, I didn't.
Those are awesome.
Goosebumps were after my time, so
Yeah.
for me it goes back to the original Choose Your Own Adventure series. Um, but yeah, I know there were other little kid mystery solvers. It was the Harry, because of course that's been the Harry Potter of kids books for forever. Is the the little mystery solving tykes.
Yeah.
We can figure this out.
Got a raging clue. Oh,
Wow,
man. It's
wow,
giving me a
that's
huge
that
clue.
was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one. I like it. All right. So outside of that, it's there's I don't know. That's is the crazy might die down for a little while now. Because I mean, the only thing that's left to happen over the next 8 months, yeah, something like 8 months, is to watch the Democrats see who can fuck things up the worst.
Yeah.
It's really what it's going to come down to. It's just like who who's going to screw this up the most. So we might actually be able to go start talking about other topics, other things, because the Democratic election is going to be its thing. All we really got there is Bernie, how they're going to kill Bernie off.
Yeah, yeah. They're probably gonna shoot him with another heart attack gun, unfortunately, like they did the first time.
I see Nephilim Ninja in the house. I believe.
Oh shit!
I believe that's a recognizable face, sir.
That's right. What's up, man?
So yeah, see, he agrees with me. There's some scariness to this one, but as long as they keep it contained in China, you know, I don't know, man. It
Yeah,
could have a devastating effect on their population if allowed to do its thing.
that might be the plan. Unfortunately, I wouldn't put
I'm
it past them.
just John. Check this out. You remember the Harvard College guy, right? The scientist that was tied in with the lab in Wuhan and secret money.
Hmm.
Well, there were Chinese agents, corporate agents, stealing from a biochem lab in China the day before the report of the outbreak of the coronavirus in China. They were espionaging like virus samples and shit from another lab, and they got caught doing it. Um, and
Oh wow.
and they've been trying to find some secret ties between them and the labs in Wuhan. You know, and it's like, oh, what the fuck is going on? Are people trying to
Yeah.
get their biological clock on?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man.
Biological time clock, time bomb.
Oh, I didn't see this before. Apparently Wyatt told us that there are 7.5 million people on Long Island.
Yeah, it's a pretty stacked island.
Yeah,
That's
I didn't know it was that many people. Holy
Yeah, and if
shit.
you look at the dimensions of the island, that's what makes it even more surprising. Because
I've only been there once because my dad grew up there on
because
Long Island.
the bulk of those people are vertical, my friend, vertical. They are up there in some tall ass buildings, living in their tall ass apartments.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that, but
Because that's all Long Island is, man. It's just tall buildings everywhere, and some of them are residential, some of them are commercial, and some of them are a mix of the two. But it's just and there's and even the not so tall buildings. I mean, like barber shops, they're like on the second floor, or third floor up in a walk up, this kind of thing, and yeah, it's crazy. I mean, yeah, it's vertical living, right? 7.5 million people.
no, you're not talking about like New York City, right? You are talking about just Long Island?
Yeah, I was talking about Long Island itself
Okay.
because we're the main drag of all of the heart of New York, as it were. But mostly a lot of business goes on there, but a lot of people live there, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's that's why I'm like I'm really like when we talk about the coronavirus, that one's like really confusing to me, man. It's how the numbers could be so low, especially knowing that Wuhan's like 11 million people.
That's a small town over there.
Right. So it's like, how did this not spread further throughout China very quickly from Wuhan? Before they started locking it down, there was plenty of time for this to go all throughout China. How is it managing
Well,
to stay
from what I've
localized
seen,
there?
there it looks pretty poor over there. So my guess is there's not a lot of traveling going on, from Wuhan.
Well, I mean, they've got
But
some pretty major companies there and stuff. I mean,
sure,
there's still a very dense economic presence there too.
I don't know. I
Well,
don't know
that's
anything
I've
about it.
I mean I've from reading about it, reading about the city and everything and the different things that are there. I mean, it's a mix. It's it's like any city here in America.
Yeah,
You're gonna have your thriving downtown and your lesser burbs around. Um,
yeah.
but I'm just surprised that it's not surprising to me to see the numbers that some of these things are really throwing out there, saying that the government over there is covering it up, and I'm like, fuck, 60, 70,000 people, 100 and something, 150,000 people. What's the numbers, dude? Because I would expect them to be pretty big in the city of 11 million, especially densely populated. I don't know,
Yeah.
but man, it's a great target. I mean, we might be taking out one of our biggest competitors right there, very simply. Um, because I don't know, man. Our Department of Defense gets involved in shit that we don't know about. You know,
Oh yeah.
they have agreements with other countries. They just slipped somebody in there that was like, "Oops, did I break that?"
Did I do that? Yeah.
Exactly. All right, so John, I'm tired of you. I'm tired of me.
Oh wow.
I'm tired of this evening. I know it's going to be a little bit early. What time is it? Yeah, not too early. But let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this shit up and tell people that they should be liking and they should be subscribing and they should be notifying and
Do
watch for
that
us.
stuff.
Uh, John, there can also find us in some places.
Yes. Firstly, D Live. You can find us over on D Live. The link
Yes.
I believe is in the description. You can also find us on Twitter at the Gen Gap P. Link also in the description. While you're down there, you can also join our Discord server if you're not already in there. It's a lot of fun. Fun place to be. You can also find us on freedomscoop.com, where you can find other people like Stephen Ignoramus or J. Edgar. They're over there as well. I believe Wyatt is there too. And you can also buy our t-shirts, one of which I'm wearing right now. And you can put the code GenGap in and get 15% off, which is pretty awesome.
It's not
It's
bad.
not that expensive to begin with, so you can make it even cheaper by
Hey,
using the promo code GenGap.
hey, I have to touch on something Nephilim Ninja said real quick. He said, "Did
All
you
right.
guys hear the report of the sulfur dioxide in the air in China proves that many bodies have been burned?" I was just reading a report on this today, talking about the crematoriums. Reports are saying that like the crematoriums are running 24/7, like to the extent that the amount of deaths that they say they've had, wouldn't amp up the production like the like they've been seeing.
Yeah.
So it's possible that this is another realistic report. This is one of those that points to hundreds of, six figures worth of people having been killed off, and they're just burning them as fast as they can get them in and through the crematoriums. It's possible it's a real thing. Again, misinformation, lots of things going on. Don't forget, China already has shit air as it is to a certain extent in their dense populated areas. But nothing's for
I
sure.
heard I heard they also had a lot of hydro dioxide over there as well, which is pretty dangerous. You should look out for that stuff.
Isn't that water?
Yeah, it is.
Uh,
I just
so
wanted to sound smart for a second, but I do have one announcement.
no.
Next Monday, I will be on the R-rated conservative. They start at 10 o'clock, so right after this show on Monday, I will be over there.
And I'll
So
probably be
make sure you check that out.
I'll probably be trolling the audience because
Yeah,
I'm not good
do
enough
it.
to be on camera.
I'm sure you'll get your invite soon.
Yeah, we've heard the rumors. Uh, hey, and one thing, and I'm just going to put this out there. We're gonna start focusing a lot more attention on D Live, and this branching out and possibly getting ourselves away from YouTube. I think we'd like to get ourselves to a point where the only reason we're using YouTube is as a vehicle to get our videos up on Freedom Scoop. I'm not sure if
Yep.
they can go there from D Live, but we have other options, Twitch and Periscope, etc. So we can look into getting the videos up there through those
Yeah.
channels. But we're hoping to make a progression away from YouTube, hopefully. But D Live appears to be the primary platform we're going to go with. So watch for us to
Yep.
start trying to migrate you folks over to D Live as much as
Yes.
possible, and we'll get so we have our activity happening over there. But for those of you that are YouTube boomers, um, we'll still keep the stream going there, and we'll still be able to see what your chat's going on. Outside of that, we'll be back again on Friday with our regular show at the 8:30 hour or half hour. Then we'll also be back again next Monday for another rousing episode of Shooting the Shit, 9
Hell yeah.
p.m., just like this one. Shout out
All
to
Eastern time, by the way, guys.
Big shout out to everybody in the audience tonight. Thanks for all your
Yes.
input and chit chatting with us, and much love to those of you who could not be with us tonight. Ron Helton, I might be talking to you. Jay Edgar, I might be talking to you. There's other people I might be talking to, but senility prevents those names from popping onto my tongue. Outside of that, John, I'm going to get the hell out of here. You have yourself a
Yes.
good night, folks. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yep. See you guys.
The war will begin.